KSMO Salem.
Good afternoon and welcome to KSMO Radio on this Thursday, the 19th day of February. Let's take a look at that weather situation. First up, though, I want to make sure you're aware that we're under a red flag warning that is in effect from noon today. Actually started at noon and will be in effect until 8 p.m. this evening. We could have winds out of the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 35 miles per hour. Our relative humidity is between 15 and 25%, and any fires that develop will spread rapidly. Outdoor burning is not recommended. In other words, do not burn today. Now your forecast today, sunny skies, so maybe they'll find their way out. I've not seen them yet this morning, but we'll have a high temperature near 74 if they make their way out. Southwesterly winds will be 11 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 31 miles per hour. We expect mostly clear skies tonight, low temperature around 29 degrees. Westerly winds continue tonight, 10 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. And tonight's wind chill value will be as low as 22 degrees. Tomorrow should be sunny with a high temperature only near 52. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming light northerly during tomorrow afternoon. Winds could gust as high as 22 miles per hour before they lighten up. Wind chill value early tomorrow morning will be as low as 20 degrees. We expect partly cloudy skies tomorrow night with a low around 28 degrees. Calm winds to become northerly around 6 miles per hour after midnight tomorrow night. Saturday should be mostly sunny with a high temperature near 47 degrees. North winds will be 6 to 9 miles per hour with gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. We expect mostly clear skies Saturday night, low around 21. Then Sunday should be sunny with a high temperature near 41 degrees. Skies will be clear Sunday night, will be cold with a low in the mid-teens. Then Monday will be sunny with a high temperature near 39 degrees. Monday night will be mostly clear with low temperature again around the mid-teens, with sunny skies on Tuesday and a high temperature near 52 degrees. Tuesday night, we expect mostly cloudy skies, low around 36. Then Wednesday should be partly sunny with a high temperature near 62 degrees. That's your noon hour weather update brought to you by all of us here at KSMO, where it's now time for the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report.
You've heard many times that by the year 2050, there will be more than 9 billion people on this planet, and those 9 billion people will need to eat. Hello, everyone. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and this is my 2 cents. I'm not arrogant enough to believe that farmers in this country will be able to feed the entire world alone. It will take everyone, big, small, conventional, organic, and everyone in between to get the job done. And yes, we do it because we love to do it, but we also need to make some money doing it. In 1980, my first college class at Western Illinois University, the professor walked in, looked us over, and told us this is Ag Economics 101. There are 2 ways to make money in agriculture. You marry it or you bury it. I beg to differ. You have to be smart, you have to work hard, you have to do the hard things, you have to make calls you are afraid to make. You have to try a lot and fail a lot and then try again. You have to go right back out there when you are both physically and mentally drained. 100 years ago, a farm was a farm. People didn't say grain farm or pig farm. If you were a farmer, chances are that you had a variety of species and crops growing on your acreage. You didn't distinguish one from the other by what was raised. The transformation of American agriculture and rural life in the past century is attributed to several key influencing factors: mechanization, availability and affordability of chemical inputs, and advances in plant and animal breeding. Farmers in this country have always stepped up and stepped it up on their farms to do what it takes to supply food to a growing population in the United States and abroad. When it's all said and done, it's going to take farmers from around the globe working hard, taking risks, and venturing outside of their comfort zones to feed the world's population in coming years. I'm Cindy Young with Brownfield, and that's my 2 cents. Thursday, February 26th is Give FFA Day. This one-day initiative held during National FFA Week funds programs that support leadership, personal growth, and career success. Make a donation of any amount and make a difference in the lives of almost 27,000 Missouri FFA members. Donate to your local FFA chapter or the Missouri FFA Foundation by clicking on Donate to Give FFA Day at MissouriFFA.org.
More than ever. For beef producers, every pound of gain pays. But flies steal those pounds, costing our industry more than $1 billion a year. A season-long fly control plan protects profit. Start early with MFA feed-through minerals. Add ear tags and reinforce fly control with pour-ons or sprays. Keep the flies off and the pounds on. Fly control isn't an expense, it's an investment. Let MFA help you build a fly control program before the season takes off. See us at mfa-inc.com.
The foundation is set.
Missouri knocks off the #1 team in the nation.
The frame is built.
On the run, Mitchell for the flush, Missouri by 20.
And the gates,
the habits, the response to detail, the execution, all that stuff matters.
Are open.
Drives right baseline to the rim, jams it as he hangs and got fouled.
This is your radio home for Mizzou basketball.
Cruz, here comes the three. Bang! He splashed it home.
The Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Another sluggish start for direct cash cattle trade. Hello, I'm Megan Grebner with your Brownfield Livestock Market Report. Direct cash cattle business remains quiet. Bids and asking prices haven't surfaced. Packer inquiry should improve as the day progresses, but if business follows the trend of recent weeks, look for the bulk of this week's trade to hold out until sometime late in the day Friday, especially with the cattle on feed report from the USDA coming out. At the Huss Livestock Market in Nebraska, steers weighing more than 550 pounds were steady to $10 higher. Heifers weighing more than 500 pounds were steady to $5 higher. The USDA says demand was good from buyers both in-house and online. Medium and large one feeder steers 608 to 649 pounds brought $453 to $483. Feeder steer 702 to 746 pounds brought $397 to $418. Medium and large one feeder heifer 657 to 682 pounds brought $386 to $404. Box beef was higher at midday with good demand for light offerings. Choice up $1.30 at $365.10. Select was 5 cents higher at $360.68. Cash hog prices were not reported at midday with solid negotiated purchases. Processors appear to be a bit more aggressive in their procurement efforts to start the day. There are several things that the industry continues to monitor, looking at supplies of market-ready hogs, which are ample, the solid slaughter pace, and hog weights, which are running well above year-ago levels. It's also monitoring global demand. There's no shortage of supplies, but there are lingering long-term concerns and uncertainty about demand strength in both the global and domestic markets. Butcher hog prices at the Midwest cash markets are steady at midday in Dorchester, Wisconsin at $66, and Red Oak, Iowa, they're higher at $57. At Illinois, slaughter-sow prices were $2 higher with moderate demand for light offerings at $55 to $67. Barrows and gilts were steady with moderate demand for moderate offerings at $45 to $55. And pork values were higher at midday, up 54 cents at $96.10. Ribs, butts, and hams were all sharply higher. Loins were up, bellies and picnics were down. I'm Megan Grebner, Brownfield Ag News.
Life can be tough. Sometimes it feels like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders. No matter what you're going through, help is always available. 988 is more than just a number. It's a lifeline for anyone who's struggling. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or you just need someone to talk to, 988 is there for you. 24/7 confidential support. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to feel better. Reach out to 988. 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, Missouri.
More than ever. For beef producers, every pound of gain pays. But flies steal those pounds, costing our industry more than $1 billion a year. A season-long fly control plan protects profit. Start early with MFA feed-through minerals. Add ear tags and reinforce fly control with pour-ons or sprays. Keep the flies off and the pounds on. Fly control isn't an expense, it's an investment. Let MFA help you build a fly control program before the season takes off. See us at mfa-inc.com.
That has been the Brownfield Commentary and Midday Livestock Report. It is now time to take a look at updated funeral announcements, and it's being brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Serving Salem and Dent County for over 30 years, Your World Today is 4 pages of information that would take you about 5 minutes to read, and they're available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker, and online at our website, ksmoradio.com. Euro Today. Be sure and pick one up every weekday or check it out online. Ruth Ann Hukin of Davisville passed away Thursday, February 12th at the age of 81 years. Funeral services for Ruth Ann Hukin will be Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at the Britton Bennett Funeral Home in Steelville. Visitation for family and friends of Ruth Ann Hukin will be start Saturday morning at 11 and continue until service time at 1 o'clock. And it will be at the Hukin Turnbow Cemetery in Davisville. Memorials may be made to the Hukin Turnbow Cemetery. Cards will be available, and all arrangements for Ruth Ann Hukin of Davisville are under the direction of the Britton Bennett Funeral Home of Steelville. Marvin Laverne Gillum of Cuba, formerly of Davisville, passed away Thursday, January 22nd, at the age of 89 years. A celebration of life for Marvin Gillum will be Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the Wilson Mortuary by Burnham Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Marvin Gillum will also be on Saturday from 1 o'clock till service time at 2. And all arrangements for Marvin Laverne Gillum, formerly of Davisville, are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Viburnum. Randy Lynn Land, age 62, of Salem, passed away Sunday, February 8th. Graveside services for Randy Land will be Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock at the Mount Hermon Cemetery. Memorial contributions may be made to the Salem Public Library or the Rolla Mission. Envelopes will be available, and all arrangements for Randy Lynn Land of Salem are under the direction of the Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Jeffrey Darrell Cisco, age 54, of Salem, passed away Monday, February 16th. Funeral services for Jeffrey Cisco will be Monday at 12 noon at the Wilson Mortuary, Salem Chapel. Visitation for family and friends of Jeffrey Cisco will also be on Monday from 11 till service time at 12 noon. Burial will be in the Green Forest Cemetery. Memorial contributions may be made to the Down Syndrome Group of the Ozarks. Memorial envelopes will be available, and all arrangements for Jeffrey Darrell Cisco of Salem are under the directions of Wilson Mortuary of Salem. Well, that has been a look at updated funeral announcements brought to you as a courtesy of Your World Today. Your World Today is the only daily news flyer in Dent County. It is available in over 40 locations in Salem and in Bunker. And be sure and check out Your World Today online at our website, ksmoradio.com. Your World Today has been serving Dent County for over 30 years, and the best part about it is absolutely free.
This is St. Louis Blues analyst Joey Vitale. There is nothing more exhilarating than watching St. Louis Blues hockey in person. But if you can't make it to the game, you can catch all the action here on your Ozark sports leader, KSMO Radio in Salem, Missouri. Your radio home for St. Louis Blues hockey.
It is now time for a look at local news, and it's being brought to you by Southwest Baptist University Salem Campus. SBU Salem Campus provides quality higher education close to home for residents of Dent County and the surrounding area. For more on degrees and programs, stop by SBU Salem Campus at 501 South Grand Street, or you can call them at 729-7071. I'm Bob Parsons reporting. The Dent County Commission met this morning at the courthouse. Victoria Luby was in attendance to talk with the commission about issues she is having on Private Lane 601 and that she was not able to get the Sheriff's Department to respond. Presiding Commissioner Gary Larson contacted Major Lenny Pabin, who then met with the woman to hear her concerns. Dolores Gray Wood was in attendance to request permission to use the courthouse steps and lawn on July 4th and September 4th for special events, and the commissioners approved her request. In the road report, District 1 Commissioner Keith Green said one grader is down as a Caterpillar service person is doing repair work on it. He stated grading would be done on Dent County Road 6080 and 6083, while a driveway crossover pipe will be installed and rock added on County Road 2460. Green went on to say brush should be cut on County Road 5620 and rock will be stockpiled at the Road and Bridge Department. District 2 Commissioner Jimmy Williams said workers will be grading Dent County Roads 3140 and 3180, while brush should be cut on County Road 2210. Williams indicated trees will be trimmed on County Roads 2210 and 3260, and a sign will be installed on County Road 3250. Presiding Commissioner Gary Larson stated last Wednesday he attended the TAC meeting and regular MRPC meeting in St. James. Larson said he was informed that funding has been found to build a new bridge on Route TT near Sligo, and it will be added to the statewide transportation improvement program to be built in either 2028 or 2029. Larson went on to report he attended a Tourism Tax Committee meeting, and one request was submitted and approved by Flat Nasty, and there were no requests for reimbursements. Larson also said he would be attending an MRPC meeting Friday concerning the future of solid waste management districts, as there is legislation that would eliminate the districts. Larson then talked with both Commissioner Green and Williams about a request from Joni Pringer from MoDOT for an updated inventory of the county roads being maintained or that have been abandoned. Larson also asked the commissioners about a request he received from Jeff Dotson from Northwood R4 to use 2 of the county IRs they received from MRPC for paying their annual fees for grant preparation, and the commission approved his request. Deputy Clerk Melissa Pite said bills would be paid, and she was checking poll pads for the upcoming excused absentee voting for the municipal election that will begin on February 24th at the courthouse. At 10 o'clock, the commission opened bids for chip and seal. They received 2 bids, one from Blevins Asphalt from Mount Vernon for 10 miles of chip and seal work for $205,920, and the other was from West Brothers out of Pacific for $249,588.24 for 10 miles of chip and seal work. Commission will review the bids before making a final decision. Commissioners also signed a letter saying the commission supports holding the rally in the 100-acre wood in Dent County put on by the American Rally Association. At the last meeting, Dent County Collector Shannon Van Kirk gave her report on the January turnover, which came to $364,693.60. Van Kirk also asked the commission to outlaw the 2023 unknown real estate and 2020 personal property taxes totaling $7,608.08, and they approved. She also stated that Dent County will no longer be accepting e-checks online to pay taxes due to too many errors made by customers typing in misinformation on their accounts, causing red flags. The next meeting of the Dent County Commissioners will be Monday morning at the courthouse at 9 o'clock, and the meeting will be open to the public. The Salem Memorial Hospital Board of Directors held its regular meeting Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the Doctor's Library. The agenda was approved with the revisions to remove public comments, to move public comments, the 340B mock audit discussion, and the Child Care Allowance Benefit Grant to the beginning of the meeting. During public comments, a local resident called regarding an incident that occurred last year on hospital grounds. Because the matter involved a patient, the board elected to discuss it in closed session. Under policies and procedures, the board approved the long-term care resident and staff immunization policy. They approved the approval of the infection prevention healthcare worker immunization policy was again tabled pending accurate information on how many of the hospital's 180 employees have been vaccinated against measles. The current immunization policy recommends certain vaccines but only requires the influenza vaccine. Employees may decline vaccinations for medical, religious, or other exempt reasons. The hospital has been selected for a HRSA audit in April, which requires completion of a 340B mock audit in advance. The hospital's attorney agreed to conduct the mock audit on short notice ahead of schedule at a cost of $12,000 to $2,000 above the amount budgeted. The board approved the additional expense. Local Child Care Center Director Nancy Major attended the meeting to answer questions regarding the proposed Child Care Allowance Benefit and Grant. The request would provide $5 per child per day, capped at $30,000 annually. The board authorized CEO Brooke Bowman to pursue the grant opportunity, with a formal press release to follow once details are finalized. In a report, Bowman highlighted ongoing recruitment efforts, strategic planning initiatives, and updates regarding the Missouri Independent Hospital Network revenue cycle and the hospital's pending 2024 audit. In January, inpatient admissions remained steady at 55, Outpatient registrations totaled 1,101, slightly higher than December, and laboratory testing increased due to the hospital's January health fair. Emergency room visits and ambulance runs also rose. Total operating revenue for January was approximately $2.1 million, with operating expenses of about $1.8 million, resulting in a monthly operating gain of about $398,000. The hospital currently maintains 40 days of cash on hand. Net 340B revenue for January was $43,434, which is consistent with December. Following reports from Chief Nursing Officer, Human Resources, and Quality Improvement, the board reviewed the hospital's FY 2026 through 2031 strategic plan and approved the mission, vision, and value statement pending minor grammatical revisions. The capital budget was approved, with infrastructure updates removed until further strategic planning can occur. The Equalized Revenue Cycle Management Agreement was also approved. Bowman announced that beginning March 1, the hospital will offer tax season discounts for patients who choose to pay their accounts in full. The next regular meeting of the Salem Memorial Hospital Board of Directors will be March 31st at 7 o'clock in the Doctor's Library, and it will be open to the public. The Salem Police Department is asking for your help to solve an open homicide investigation. On March 9, 2015, Rosalie Bird was found deceased inside her home. Authorities determined the cause of death to be homicide resulting from blunt force trauma. Since that time, investigators have pursued numerous leads and continued their efforts to identify and apprehend the individual or individuals responsible. The Salem Police Department's investigative unit believes there are members of the public who may possess critical information related to this case. This means an active investigation, and any detail, no matter how small, could be significant. For official tips or to speak directly with the Salem Police Department, you may call 573-729-4242 or email spdtips@salemo.com. If you have information and wish to remain anonymous, please contact the Crime Stoppers tip line at 866-371-TIPS. Tips at stircs.org is also a venue that one might use. Now again, that's tips at stircs.org. Your assistance could make a difference in helping to solve this case. A public hearing will be held by the Dent County Health Center Board of Trustees this afternoon at 5 o'clock in the Dent County Health Center Conference Room located at 1014 East Scenic Rivers Boulevard here in Salem. The purpose of the hearing is to receive public comment on proposed changes to the Dent County Health Center environmental fee schedule prior to consideration of adoption by the board. The hearing is open to the public. The Salem R80 Board of Education will be meeting today at 5:30 in the R80 boardroom. After the call to order and the Pledge of Allegiance, the board will approve the agenda and the consent agenda. The board will hear communications from Wes and Dana Connell. Salem High School Career and Technical Education and Family and Consumer Science programs will receive recognition. In the superintendent's report, CSIP goals will be addressed in all reports. Administration reports will be heard from William Lynch, upper elementary, middle school, high school, athletics and activities, special education, technology, and maintenance. In new business, the board will approve MSBA contract for policy services, MSBA policy updates, updated principals contracts, 2026 through 2027 school calendar, and the Wagner Picture contract. No transfers, hires, or resignations and retirements are scheduled to be considered. The board will enter closed session to discuss personnel and student issues, followed by adjournment after returning to open session. The regular meeting of the Salem R80 Board of Education is open to the public. The U.S. Forest Service is looking for a volunteer on-site camp host for Sutton's Bluff near Bunker this year from April 26th to October 26th. Hosts are required to be on site every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and they must put in 30 hours each week. No training is required, but a background check and a reference check will be required. Those interested can apply at 401 Fairgrounds Road in Rolla. If you'd like more information, contact Hunter Harris at hunter.harris@usda.gov or Kimberly Huff at kimberly.huff, and that's HAUF, at usda.gov. The SACPA membership drive is here. Now's the time to join or renew with the Salem Area Community Betterment Association and be part of the work happening right here in the community. Your yearly membership directly supports their committees and the projects that help Salem continue to grow, improve, and thrive. Every membership makes a difference. Thank you to those who continue to stand behind the work of SACPA. They couldn't do it without you. By being a member, you can attend the annual meeting and vote on board members as well as attend the monthly meetings. The next annual meeting for SACPA will be Monday, February 23rd at the Creative Arts Center.
Spring is right upon us, and J. Medlock Landscaping, LLC can help with your big projects, such as excavating, digging ponds, setting up new landscaping, or helping to improve on your existing landscaping. J. Medlock Landscaping, LLC can haul rock and dirt, water for your pools and ponds, and even drinking water. Call J. Medlock Landscaping, LLC today at 729-DIRT. That's J. Medlock Landscaping, LLC, 729-3478.
Do you know who some of the most avid readers of Cardinals Magazine are? It's Cardinal alumni. Our former players tell me time and again that Cardinals Magazine is one of their favorite ways to stay connected to the birds on the bat.
And you know, Ricky, I've heard the same thing. They feel like they're still coming to the ballpark each day when they're enjoying the impressive lineup of feature stories in every issue of Cardinals Magazine.
Cardinals Magazine helps you really get to know the current players, not only their stories in uniform, but who they are off the field and how they got to where they are.
And it doesn't stop with the stories on current players. No one does a better job giving fans a truer picture of everything happening on the field, inside the ballpark, and all over Cardinals Nation. Even stories on our Cardinals alumni.
Join our former players who enjoy the classic coverage of Cardinals Magazine. Subscribe for yourself and your favorite fan at cardinals.com/magazine or 314-345-9000.
Cardinals Magazine. It's all here.
Now time for a look at local and regional sports being brought to you as courtesy of your Ozark sports leader, KSMO. The 9-14 Salem Lady Tigers will be on the road to Mountain Grove tonight to face off with the 13-11 Lady Panthers. JV game will start the night off at 6 o'clock with the varsity follow at around 7:30. In their last 5 games, Salem holds a 3-2 record over Mountain Grove. Salem will wrap up their regular season Monday against the Hollister Lady Tigers. And that's been a look at local regional sports brought to you as a courtesy of KSMO. Stay tuned for a look at sports from the Missouri Net.
Missouri Net Sports is brought to you by Missouri's beef farmers and ranchers. Packed with protein, iron, and essential nutrients, beef powers healthy lifestyles. Discover balanced recipes at beefitswhatsfordinner.com.
Missouri Net Sports, I'm Bill Pollock. The Mizzou Tigers had a 21-point lead with just under 9 minutes to go, and they held off number 19 Vanderbilt for an 81-80 win. Jaden Stone paced Mizzou with 19 points.
A win is a win, but obviously it's good for us as well because you take more out of a, scrape away from Vanderbilt as opposed to maybe you blow them out going into the next game.
All right, on to spring training. Games are starting this weekend. The Royals missed the playoffs by 5 games last year. Bobby Witt Jr. says he and the core of this team have been talking all offseason about how they bounce back and what it will take to build a solid playoff team.
Yeah, more so not the disappointment, just of how we want to be known as a team, what we want to be, who we want to be, and just how we're going to do it. And so I think there's a lot of conversations throughout the offseason meetings, guys get together and just knowing, all right, let's kind of find our foundation, let's build what we have and do it day by day. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, and we kind of say it brick by brick, and so that's going to be our little mantra.
After spending the winter in California in walking boots and rehabbing, Lars Nootbaar is in Cardinals camp working his way back from surgery on both heels. It'll be a while before he's trying to reclaim that right field spot, but he has been doing some baseball activity.
Baseball activity has been fine. Been hitting and throwing, and so I've had no hiccups in that from the first day that they've allowed me to, and so that part of it's good. In terms of the next couple of weeks, not sure exactly what it'll look like, but I'm sure I'll just be in here with Keatsy inside the training room, and then if they let me or whatever they want me to do, go out and swing and throw and do all those things. And so just kind of looking to progress.
I'm Bill Pollock, Missouri Net Sports.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tell your friends about us.
The best radio station I ever heard in my entire life.
KSMO.
Here at KSMO Radio, it is now time for news from the Missouri Net. Then stay tuned. I'll be back in about 5 to 6 minutes with your latest KSMO weather forecast.
Missouri Net News. I'm Sue Danielson. Red flag warnings are in place for central and southern Missouri due to dry, windy conditions and fire risk. State senators are looking at a House-passed bill regulating video slot machines. Floor Leader Tony Luetkemeyer says the bill's future is uncertain.
There would have to be a lot of senators that have changed their position.
The bill calls for replacing current machines with state-regulated ones. A review of the state's marijuana licensing program has resulted in a fair rating. State Auditor Scott Fitzpatrick says his staff found no wrongdoing, but recommends process changes. The state offices that run the program, however, disagree.
We wouldn't have had a finding about that if we didn't have evidence.
The state's licensing program incurred millions in legal costs. The Department of Health and Senior Services says the agency does not have discretion to avoid the legal costs, and applicants have a right to challenge the licensing decisions. And the Missouri Film Office says TV and movie crews spent more than $40 million in the state last year, working on over 50 projects. Missouri Net News.
I'm Matt Pilger. Stay connected to Missouri wherever you are. MissouriNet brings you the latest news from across the state, online and on the radio. From breaking stories to in-depth coverage, for more than 50 years, we've reported on what matters most to Missourians and your communities. Listen live on your local station, follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, and find us at MissouriNet.com.
At Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans, your health is our commitment. That's why we provide high-quality health coverage at affordable rates to Missourians like you. And unlike other options, you can apply at any time throughout the year. From individual and family plans to dental vision coverage, our plan options are designed to meet your needs. Together we care, together we grow, together we thrive. Missouri Farm Bureau Health Plans. Plan on us. Visit us at mofbhealthplans.com and contact your agent today.
Afternoon and welcome to KSMO Radio. Let's take a look at that weather situation. First up, I want to remind you that we are under a red flag warning that will be in effect until 8 this evening. We could have some winds out of the southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Those winds may gust as high as 35 miles per hour. Our relative humidity this afternoon and early tonight will be between 15 and 25%. Now, the impact will be that any fires that develop will spread rapidly, and outdoor burning is not recommended. In other words, do not burn. Now your forecast for today, we're supposed to be sunny with a high temperature near 74 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest at 11 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 31 miles per hour. We expect mostly clear skies tonight with a low temperature around 29 degrees. Winds will be out of the west at 10 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 28 miles per hour. And tonight's wind chill value will be as low as 22 degrees. Tomorrow should be sunny with a high temperature much cooler with a high near 52 degrees. Westerly winds will be 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming light and northerly during Friday afternoon, and winds could gust as high as 22 miles per hour. Early tomorrow morning, our wind chill value will be as low as 20 degrees. We expect partly cloudy skies tomorrow night with a low around 28 degrees. Calm winds become northerly around 6 miles per hour after midnight. Our weekend's going to start on Saturday with mostly sunny skies and a bit cooler with a high temperature near 47. North winds will be 6 to 9 miles per hour with gusts as high as 18 miles per hour. Saturday night, skies will be mostly clear, low around 21. Then Sunday should be sunny with a high temperature near 41 degrees. Skies will be clear Sunday night with a low temperature around 16 degrees. And that new work week starts out on Monday. In fact, the last work week in February with sunny skies and a high temperature near 39 degrees. Monday night, we expect mostly clear skies, low around 17. Then sunny skies are forecasted on Tuesday with a high temperature near 52 degrees. Tuesday night should be mostly cloudy, low around 36, and windy will be partly sunny with a high temperature near 62 degrees.
KSMO Salem